Few cars have a history as rich and electrifying as the Dodge Charger. What started as a sleek muscle car in the 1960s evolved into an American icon, dominating the streets, drag strips, and even the big screen. Over the decades, the Charger has gone through radical transformations, from raw, tire-shredding muscle to sleek luxury performance, and now into a modern marvel-blending muscle car heritage with cutting-edge technology. But how did we get here? How did the Charger go from its early muscle car roots to the high-tech powerhouse we see today? Buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the history, evolution, and future of the legendary Dodge Charger. The birth of a legend, 1966 to 1967. The Dodge Charger first roared onto the scene in 1966, a time when muscle cars were becoming the kings of the American road. Dodge wanted a car that could take on the likes of the Ford Mustang and Chevrolet Camaro, but with a more aggressive, fastback coupe design. The first-generation Charger was based on the Dodge Coronet, but came with a bold new look, hidden headlights, a long, sleek body, and a futuristic full-width taillight that set it apart. Under the hood, buyers had the option of several powerful V8 engines, including the legendary 426H Hemi, which produced a monstrous 425 horsepower. Despite its striking design and performance capabilities, the first-gen Charger wasn't an immediate sales hit. It was seen as too radical, too different from other muscle cars at the time. However, Dodge had something special on their hands, and they weren't about to give up just yet. The Muscle Car King, 1968 to 1970. If there's one era that cemented the Charger's legacy, it's the late 1960s. Dodge went back to the drawing board and redesigned the Charger for 1968, and what emerged was nothing short of a masterpiece. The second-generation Charger featured a more aggressive look with a Coke bottle shape, recessed grille, and the now iconic hidden headlights. This was the Charger that became a cultural icon, starring in movies like Bullitt and The Dukes of Hazzard. Performance-wise, this generation was a beast. The RT Road to Track model packed serious firepower, including the monstrous 426 Hemi 5.8. With its raw power, menacing looks, and high-performance reputation, the second-gen Charger became one of the most sought-after muscle cars of all time. Today, these models fetch insane prices at auctions, proving just how legendary they truly are. The changing times, 1971 to 1978. As the 1970s rolled in, muscle cars began to face challenges. Rising insurance costs, stricter emissions regulations, and the infamous oil crisis of 1973. Dodge had to adapt, leading to the third-generation Charger in 1971. This version retained its muscle car DNA, but adopted a bulkier, more aerodynamic design. While still offering big-block V8s, like the 440 Magnum, power outputs were beginning to decline due to new regulations. By the mid to late 70s, the Charger had shifted further from its high-performance roots, becoming more of a personal luxury coupe. It gained features like a plusher interior and a heavier body, which meant it was no longer the fire-breathing muscle car it once was. Though still popular, it was clear that the golden era of muscle cars was coming to an end. The Charger's disappearance and return, 1982 to 1987. In a move that still baffles muscle car enthusiasts, Dodge temporarily abandoned the classic V8 Charger formula in the early 1980s. The Charger name was resurrected for a compact, front-wheel drive coupe based on the Dodge Omni. Yes, you heard that right. A four-cylinder front-wheel drive Dodge Charger. Instead of V8 power, this version featured turbocharged four-cylinder engines, with the most notable being the Shelby Charger, a performance-tuned variant developed by Carroll Shelby himself. While the Shelby Charger was quick for its time, this wasn't the muscle car fans had come to know and love. By 1987, the Charger nameplate disappeared entirely, leaving enthusiasts wondering if it would ever return to its former glory. The comeback of the muscle car 2006 to present. After nearly 2 decades in hibernation, Dodge shocked the automotive world by bringing back the Charger in 2006. But there was a twist. This time, it was a 4-door sedan. Some purists were skeptical. A 4-door muscle car? Could it still be a Charger? The answer was a resounding yes. The 2006 Charger was a perfect blend of modern engineering and old-school muscle. It packed a range of powerful engines, including the return of the HEMI V8, and featured aggressive styling inspired by its legendary predecessors. The high-performance SRT8 model with its 6.1-liter HEMI, delivered 425 horsepower, proving that the Charger had officially returned to its muscle car roots. Fast forward to the 2010s, and Dodge doubled down on performance, introducing even more insane versions of the Charger. The Hellcat variant, unveiled in 2015, took the world by storm with a supercharged 6.2-liter V8, producing a mind-blowing 707 horsepower. If that wasn't enough, Dodge later introduced the Charger Red-Eye and the absolutely ridiculous Charger SRT Jailbreak, pushing horsepower figures even higher. This era solidified the Charger as the fastest and most powerful production sedan in the world, blending muscle car attitude with modern-day technology. The future, electric power meets muscle, 2024 and beyond. Now we stand at the dawn of a new era. With growing emissions regulations and a shift towards electric power, Dodge has once again reinvented the Charger. The upcoming all-electric Dodge Charger Daytona SRT is set to carry the muscle car torch into the EV era. But don't think for a second that this means the Charger is losing its edge. The new Daytona SRT features an 800-volt electric powertrain known as the Banshee, promising performance figures that rival, if not exceed, the Hellcat. And here's the best part. Dodge has engineered an artificial exhaust sound called the Fret-Sonic chambered exhaust, designed to mimic the aggressive roar of a classic muscle car. While purists might struggle with the idea of an electric Charger, one thing is clear: Dodge isn't backing down from its muscle car heritage. Instead, they're evolving it for a new generation, the wildest Charger ever, the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. If you thought the standard second-generation Dodge Charger was a beast, wait until you hear about the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. This wasn't just any muscle car. It was a full-blown, track-dominating monster designed with one goal: to win NASCAR races. Dodge engineers took a standard Charger and transformed it into an aerodynamic masterpiece, adding a massive 23-inch tall rear wing, a pointed nose cone, and covered headlights to reduce drag. The result? A car that shattered records. Under the hood, the Daytona packs serious firepower, with engine options ranging from the 440 Magnum to the legendary 426 Hemi V8. But the real magic was in its aerodynamics. This was the first car in NASCAR history to break the 200-mile-per-hour barrier. Its dominance was so overwhelming that NASCAR changed its rules, effectively banning the Daytona and its sibling, the Plymouth Superbird, from competition. On the streets, the Daytona was just as wild. Only 503 were built for homologation purposes, making them extremely rare today. Back in the day, they were tough to sell because of their extreme styling, but today these cars are worth over $1 million at auctions. The Daytona is proof that Dodge wasn't afraid to push boundaries, creating one of the most legendary muscle cars of all time. The final chapter, the 2023 Dodge Charger Last Call models. As Dodge prepares to transition into an all-electric future, they decided to give the beloved gasoline-powered Charger one last, earth-shattering farewell. Enter the 2023 Dodge Charger Last Call models, a lineup of high-performance, limited-edition variants that pay homage to the Charger's muscle car roots. These models, including the Super B, Scat Pack Swinger, and King Daytona, offer some of the most powerful HEMI engines ever put in a Charger. But the true star of the Last Call series is the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Red-Eye Jailbreak, pushing out a jaw-dropping 807 horsepower. Dodge made it clear that they weren't going to let the Charger go quietly, and these models are some of the wildest, fastest, and most powerful muscle cars ever built. With production ending in 2023, these Last Call Chargers are destined to become future classics. Collectors and enthusiasts are scrambling to get their hands on them, knowing that they represent the end of an era, the last V8-powered Chargers before Dodge goes electric. If you've ever dreamed of owning a piece of muscle car history, this might be your last chance. From its muscle-bound origins to its rebirth as a modern performance powerhouse, the Dodge Charger has never been just another car. It's an American legend. It survived changing times, defied expectations, and continuously evolved to stay ahead of the pack. Now, as it transitions into an electric future, the Charger's legacy remains as strong as ever. What do you think? Is the electric Charger the future of muscle cars, or do you prefer the roar of a traditional V8? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey through Charger history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. More high-octane content is coming your way. Stay tuned.